For our opening, it was vital to begin with a production logo and company name, as without this we would not be following the conventions of a film. There are thousands of production companies, such as big Hollywood ones, including 20th Century Fox, DreamWorks and Universal Studios. There are also more smaller independent production companies, and some that exist in Britain are BBC Films, Film 4 and Vertigo Films. With any film production, there are a number of stages to go through in order to get the film to an audience. These stages vary in complexity from project to project, but in every production there is a similar process. The stages making up this process are usually described by the following headings: pre-production, production, and post-production. Pre-production is the process of preparing all the elements involved in a film. This is the starting point of the production process, where the cast and crew are employed and the location for shooting is chosen. However, this all depends on the budget of the film. Higher budget films mean that they can cast more high-profile stars and choose from a wider variety of locations. Smaller budget films tend to cast up-and-coming actors and shoot in smaller studios or use the local surroundings. Production is the main stage in which the filming takes place. During this stage, the director, producer, cameramen, actors, and the rest of the crew come together to put the initial idea into practice. Independent films such as Night Bus only took 5 nights to film. This is in contrast to a big Hollywood film such as Skyfall, which was filmed over 128 days. This is due to Night Bus having a much smaller budget, which caused them to limit their location options as they needed to save money for other means of production. This is very similar to our Thriller opening, as both films were based in accessible London locations. Post-production is the final stage in the production process, where all the raw footage is edited together with visual and sound effects to produce a final cut. The editing of the project will determine how the film comes across to the audience, so a lot of time and effort goes into this part. After the production process is complete, the film begins to be distributed. Film distribution is the process of making a movie available for an audience to view. The distributor's aim is to make a profit that makes up for the amount of money spent in the production process. The distributor is in control of the distribution process as well as the marketing campaign. Some things in this include press release, premiere, merchandise, social media promoting, and advertising campaigns. The higher the budget of the film, the more extravagant the marketing campaign is at raising awareness, which causes a larger audience to view the film, making the filmmakers more profit. Also, it is the distributor's job to pass on the final cuts to the exhibitors so that it can be available to the audience. Nowadays, this is usually done electronically. Personally, I feel our film would benefit most from being released as an independent film, as it is much like BBC films, which are usually screened at international film festivals before distribution. Some examples of these films include Sweet 16 and Slumdog Millionaire. There are also more smaller independent films which are similar to ours, such as Monsters and Fish Tank. I feel the best platform for our marketing campaign is to use social media sites such as Twitter and Facebook, as this is a very inexpensive way of raising awareness and creating an audience for our film. The funding of our film will be very similar to that of the UK independent Night Bus. During the production stage, Simon Baker realised that they didn't have enough money to finish the film. So he set up a page on the website Indiegogo selling posters, names and credits, merchandise, free tickets and much more, in the hope that the public could donate money so that they could finish the film. Another way in which we would consider funding our film is by sending an application off to the British Film Institute, who work to help as many up-and-coming filmmakers as possible. Throughout our opening, the titles and credits are shown on screen, naming people and their role in the film. We used art of the title to research a variety of different openings to help us ensure we included all the essential elements in our opening. While looking at other thrillers, we noticed that the director and producer's name were usually towards the beginning. Therefore, in our opening, we followed this trend and made sure that they were the first 2 credits to come up. Originally, our title was at the end of the opening, but after audience feedback, we noticed that a lot of people felt that it looked a bit like a trailer. We acted upon this feedback and blended in the title at the start of the opening